everyone. Welcome to Fulham Chronicles and the first episode.
Yes.
Hello, Melinda.
Hi, Zara.
Right. We are going to start with the beginning.
Start from the beginning. Always a good place to start.
Yeah. Right. So who are you?
So, my name's Melinda. I'm a long-term Fulham resident.
How long?
Oh, that would be telling.
Dinosaur.
Thank you, love you. Yes, Fulham resident for a long time. Love my area, love the community. Always been involved in one aspect or another. So this is great to take it to the next level.
Oh, fantastic.
How about you? A little intro about what you're all about?
Well, I've been living in Fulham for 7 years. Absolutely love the hood. Can we say the hood?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the hood. Even if it's posh around here, I can still call it a hood because
be
we're cool.
You could be down
Fulham
with the kids.
Is cool. Yeah, no, that's exactly what I love about Fulham. The fact that I can grow my family. I've got 2 little boys. I can still hang out and feel that I am young, wild and free. But obviously, I think it's an amazing area. Right. So where is the community spirit coming from, Melinda?
Good question. I think actually that was installed in me from a very young age. So my parents both did a lot of voluntary work. Everything from Good Samaritans from when I was a child. My mum used to sort of man one of the lines. My father is 86 and he still volunteers. Yeah. So he volunteers for different charities. So I think it was instilled in me. So I've always done something. During COVID, delivered meals to the community. I just, it's always been something that I've wanted to do, to give back and be a part of the community. How about you?
Amazing. Well, kind of the same story, but a bit different. As my parents, where I come from a very small, well, it's not so small, but it's quite of a small city where it has a small community. So I would say church.
You should say whereabouts you're from.
So originally. I am a vampire. No, I'm not. Yeah, but I do come from Transylvania originally, from the heart of it. The city is called Cluj-Napoca. It's absolutely phenomenal. I'm very proud to be from there. I think the community there has been installed in my bloodstream at school. I've been at the same school since I was 7. That's when you start school there, till I was in year 12. Everybody was doing lots of everything. Everybody was helping everyone. And I just had it naturally in me. And then obviously church, I know it's quite of a taboo when it comes here. Obviously, I don't want to go into there, but it's like a different...
Don't never talk about religion, politics, or...
Yeah, exactly. We don't talk about religion, politics, politics, or the traffic in Fulham. Sorry? What?
Yes, no, let's not go there.
Yeah, that's the one we're not going to talk about. But yeah, I think... I love being surrounded by people, and somehow I think naturally I bring people together. Mm-hmm. So yeah, that's the community.
And we've both done things within
100%
Fulham.
Yeah, I keep forgetting about that because I don't really talk about it.
Yeah,
I think for me, I'm not saying you're talking about it, but it's a question to be answered. But I forget. When you're so naturally helping people.
Yeah,
and you feel like, all right, I can help with this. I can do this. I know somebody that knows somebody, they might know somebody, they might help this person. So it comes, I think not everybody's got this. And I think we both have this so well installed into our bloodstream. That's why we are so good at what we are doing.
Well, that's also, I think, one of the reasons why I also set up a website for Fulham called Urban Village London. And the reason for that was... I was working for a food startup and as a community partner, and they kept telling me to go out into the area and to speak to publications, and print media was just dying a death. There wasn't anything at all. So I thought, after they didn't get their next round of funding, what's next for me?
I've never seen such thing. I bet loads of community have that in London, but I think Urban Village is quite amazing.
Thank you.
I'm not saying just that because you're, dearest and love us, but I think it's an amazing directory you created there.
Well, I think some areas do have it, but we didn't have it. And I wanted, going back to sort of staying away from traffic issues, is I wanted to put rose-tinted glasses on and to talk about all the positive things that are happening in our community, from charitable organisations, local brands, businesses, people who that people maybe were reading someone's book and didn't realise it was actually written by an author who's based in Fulham. So there are lots of exciting stories to talk about. I didn't want it to be about politics or news, and as I say, traffic.
Showing all the pink out there.
Yeah, so
bringing positivity everywhere we go.
No, exactly. And then you with Zara's cafe.
Oh yeah, well let's tell everyone how we met.
Yes.
Yeah. So I just I think my son was a month old. It was a very raw situation for me to go out with the pram and meet the mums.
The first time's always scary.
Yeah, but it was amazing because it was the first ever time I took my son into an establishment in Fulham. Can we say where we were?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, so we were at Halley's. It was the first ever time I've been there as well. And then Melinda kindly introduced me to Urban Village. And the first ever...
Well, I'd met your husband Callum, because we had done a networking of one of the first networking events I got involved with somebody who was then a quite big Fulham Instagrammer, and she's sadly sort of given that up now. But through her, I did a networking event. I met Callum. He said, "You've got to meet. We're opening this cafe," and da da da. Well, it wasn't a cafe at that stage.
Oh, it was amazing, really, right? So it wasn't even Zara's. So the idea is that we wanted something that's crafty, something that you can combine the amazing craft beers that were already there for 10 years and bring my passion for wine and coffee. Whereas from there, a month after we've opened up, the beautiful pandemic came.
Oh, I remember
and then boof, having a brand new baby, having this coming into our lives, we decided to crack on, to be honest. Kept it closed for a bit. I was high risk after my pregnancy, so I wasn't allowed to leave our lovely home. Callum was the one doing the groceries and everything else, but I'm sure you remember that.
No, you didn't. You just, I mean, like lots of other businesses, but hats off to you. I don't know how people did it. All the twists and turns and having to evolve and change, especially with such a young family. It's tough.
Yeah, well, we just had to, we literally did what I am still proud today to, for both of us. We just stepped back. We read so many books. We enjoyed being parents. We enjoyed the sun. I don't know if you remember, it was one of the hottest summers. We had almost 40 degrees. I know it was so hot. And we call it Costa del Fulham. And we enjoy it tremendously. And then I had a thought, what is missing from that side of Fulham? We were based on Fulham Palace Road. And obviously it was groceries. So fresh fruit. Me working in the hospitality industry before, it was so easy for me to get in touch with suppliers. Yeah. And then here we are, got something from New Covent Garden Market, brought the best fresh. Never have I ever thought in my life I'll end up selling, potatoes and tomatoes.
Be a greengrocer.
Yeah, exactly. But within that, we started collaborating with Bridge Baker. We started collaborating also with the bakery on Munster Road. We started doing so many things with other businesses around that, again, somehow we created a community around. Yeah,
really supporting
the shop.
Local businesses and brands, which is great. Yeah.
And then
I remember, didn't I write about something who was doing some chili jam or something?
Yes,
who was some Fulham local.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So it was such a lovely story. Again, I've got these. How am I? So I don't rest. So I met this lovely couple. We were actually arguing who does the best chili jam. And I said, my recipe is the best. No, your recipe is the best. And then I gave him one to try. And then he gave me one to try. And I've never tasted anything as clean. And I can't even explain it. Taste was amazing. And it's chili jam, right? You can't go wrong with that. Well, you can, but you can't, but it was good. And I said, I want to have it and sell it in my shop.
Yeah, which is great.
He was like, I've never done such thing. His wife was into, I think, marketing or something like that. Gave him my Canva details and made him do it. And he did it, and it was delicious. You wrote about him.
Yeah, exactly,
I forgot.
Yeah,
so then we call it the local because of the groceries. And then after the local, we wanted to go back into the initial plan. And obviously, I was so settled in the area after 3.5 years. I named it, obviously. I've named it Zara's. And it was lovely to see the community that is built around it. And we collaborated together with Urban Village by, telling you about what's new on my side of Fulham. Yeah. And then I was reading your side of Fulham. So it was just amazing. I think combining them together is actually Fulham Social Hub.
Which is what the next question I was going to say. So how have we got here?
Yeah,
You've pushed me out of my comfort zone to be sitting here.
It was such an amazing idea. Unfortunately, Zara's shut now, so I don't have the shop anymore.
But more because I think we should talk about that though. In terms of it being a positive story.
Right, I absolutely love my time at 349 Fulham Palace Road. It was fantastic. I've met some amazing, incredible friends for life and family. I've got 2 of the people I've met there as godparents for my son. I see them very often. We text every day. So I think this community of Fulham and that community over there gave me a second family, which is, amazing for me. So one of the biggest positive sides is that meeting people and creating relationships. And 2 is my passion, and it always will be my passion. I'm a wine aficionado. I love coffee, as you know. Mm-hmm. So when you see I drink coffee from somewhere, you should know it must be a very good place. I'm a snob when it comes to it. And it's shut. And
because look, you've got a young family and want to spend more time with your family, and then you could see that this would be a great idea to do something for the community which you love, which is
exactly
fantastic.
100%. Obviously, there's been health issues and in the middle of all of this and long hours and whatever not. I'm not trying to discourage anyone that wants to be an entrepreneur. Do it. It's amazing. But it will, the bill at the end, it's not going to be a cheap one. But all positive. I let that in the past. Been thinking for a long, long time, actually a year's time. How do I do this directory of helping people? Because it happened at Zara's naturally, right? People will come and say, oh, Zara, can you recommend me this? Can you recommend me that? Oh, do you know anybody that writes about what's new? I was like, I know exactly the person for you.
So if you had to tell everybody today, what is Fulham Social Hub all about?
As I said, we both have done this naturally. And I knew the person that's going to be the co-founder of this needs to be somebody like me that does it without, having to write a script before. So I thought about the initial plan was to have a directory, like a website more than anything, and a membership attached to the website where people can go and find out like all these amazing WhatsApp groups that we've got. And I was like, how do I do that? Because it's a need, it's a necessity. People are coming to me. And then the idea with the podcast came because I'm a serial podcaster. I love listening to podcasts. I think when you see somebody and when you hear somebody, it gets to your heart and to your, mainstream in a different way. And we found this amazing space for it. So Fulham Social Hub, going back to your question, is the nexus in between residents, businesses, and everything else in between. Mm-hmm. And coming to you, pitching this to you, it wasn't easy because you did ask me a lot of questions. I'm telling you guys, she's a mum and I'm a mum, but she's a mother.
Yes, a lot of questions. But the good thing as well is that it's still, the bit that I was most interested in is the part where we're actually giving back as well. So not only doing what we've done before, what you've done with Zara's, connecting people, engaging with people, supporting people. It's actually about giving back as well to the community, which is something, as we talked about earlier, about the community spirit and something that we're both really keen on.
Yeah,
and it's important to us.
That's such an amazing thing. I never wanted to make it all about that because, as I said at the beginning, we don't talk about it. And I think it's amazing for all people paying now for memberships because it's a membership system to know where the membership money go to. Mm-hmm. It's a fantastic idea. Nobody else does it, right? And I always said if we put our strength together as a community, we're doing it anyways. We drink our coffees in the neighborhood. We're going to the hairdresser, to the dentist. We're going to see art. We're doing.
Being asked for recommendations all the time.
Exactly. So why not, knowing where everything goes? And we're talking about 10%, which I think is quite sensible and a very good amount that we give. And also me and you have thought through, which one should it be first? And you kindly, I think you went to a meeting.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
yes.
let's talk about our first ever.
Yeah, so the first organisation that's going to benefit from some of the membership, 10% of the membership revenue, is the Friends of Bishops Park.
So who are they?
So I've known about them for a long time, and Sarah Jane is their new chair. And, there's a lot of people who are part of Friends of Bishop's Park who are very connected to the area. Same thing, really want to give back. Obviously, the park is incredible. Yes, it's council run.
So why the necessity of it if it's council run?
So I think their role is basically to make sure that the space is really protected, preserved, well looked after for the public, that they can support what the council are doing. Because obviously the budgets go in, we've got a lot of green spaces in the area.
Yeah.
There's actually a lot to look after. So it's to go back to that. So they have people that they get to volunteer garden. They have specific fundraising projects that they do. So yes, and I think this is no criticism of them at all, because I know what it's like running a voluntary organisation. When I went to the AGM, I was sort of quite surprised about how few...
Why did you go to the AGM? Well, obviously, guys, I know all of these things, but it's good. It would be, just good for you to know them too.
Well, again, just to show support. You're running around, working, doing everything that you need to do. Everybody knows, you've got a busy life spinning plates. But I just felt that I wanted to show support. Also, I'm always looking for content, right? So good stories, like I said, those rose-tinted glasses, the great stories, the things that people don't know about, which is what I really enjoy about Urban Village London, is people messaging and saying, well, I never knew about this, or I never heard of this place.
It's incredible how many things are happening in our borough, especially around us, that we have no idea, because life just happens.
Yes, and I think Fulham in particular gets seen as a very sort of she area, of which, yes, of course, there are parts of it, but it's not. It's a very mixed community. And at the end of the day, a park is for everybody's benefit and use.
Yeah, I agree.
So I went along, and then I heard all sorts of stories from amazing from the ecology officer at Hammersmith and Fulham about the amazing schemes that they're doing, from to encourage butterflies, new species, through to then she put me in touch with somebody who's set up this amazing Thames Seal Watch, just really incredible feel-good stories. So
amazing. If you guys on Instagram, give them a lovely follow. It's Friends of Bishop's Park. And there's just little things like this that I had no idea of until I just discovered them through you. And again, you see, it doesn't really matter who you know. And even for little things like this, it doesn't need to be somebody that recommends you to somewhere or someone. It can just be little things like this that fills your soul.
Well, and also the membership scheme. I mean, I know, like, we're talking about membership scheme. There's other things. But at the end of the day, how many people have been to Bishop's Park or use that as a space? I know we all pay our council tax and rates and everything, but it's £10. It's £10 a year to put into the pot. If you do it once a year.
Is it just £10 a year?
That's it.
Well, that's amazing. £10 a year. I think we get all chip in and help them, because I'm taking my children there. I think Christopher goes to Fledglings, which is just next to at the entrance of the palace. Theodore went there too, and the park looks amazing all the time. And I think it's fantastic that we have that playground there and the skate park. I know now the negatives of it, because we're not going to only talk about the goods, but
but that's where you can actually attend their AGM and actually hear, and you'll hear about.
You told me that the ward was there too.
Yeah. So a councillor was there. There's also somebody from, I forget all the actual official names. I'm shocking on detail like that. That's why I always have my trusty notepad, old school. But yes, you get to hear about things like that and what they're doing, and crime prevention and everything. So if you are interested, instead of having a coffee with someone else and moaning about it, it's I mean, venting's good, but why not go straight to the horse's mouth and actually find out.
That's amazing. If anybody wants to be a volunteer, are they still allowing
for gardening projects? And I think their GM's always in November, so, and anyone's welcome to attend. So
here we are. Well, you're going to hear more.
If you're a member, so you have to sign up.
Oh, here we are. So you need to be a member. £10 a year, guys. I think we can all do it. And also, if you have some spare time, I think it would be amazing I would do it, to just go and help the place where you're taking your children, or you're just going for a run, or just we all using that space. We have birthday parties. We are watching the beautiful ducks and all this and that. So yes, they are going to be our first one to benefit from this amazing directory that we are building. Now, why the pod?
Yes. Well, you need to answer why the podcast.
Well, because we need a voice, don't we?
Yeah.
I think, I always say this, but Melinda is as I said, a mother, but in a good way. I think she's very calm. She's it feels like I'm selling now, Melinda. No, I'm not. I know. She's great. And what I wanted to say is that I needed somebody to calm, the calm through my lovely storm. I'm very, very out there. I'm excited about things happening around me. And I love having a voice, always have loved having a voice. I think from school start, all my teachers can tell you that, and all my friends, I had an opinion about anything and everything. How are you feeling about the podcast and the idea of it?
Listen, I think everybody has things where they have, some imposter syndrome lurking in the background or whatever. But I think you get to a certain time in life and you're just, whatever, let's just go. And I always say that to my girls, and I always think that I should live by the same rules to be a good example.
Have you ever thought you would?
Well, no, it's good to be out of your comfort zone.
Yeah,
and at the end
I
of the
agree.
day, it's only really, I guess, and taking myself out of the equation, which is the bit I don't like. Although when I started Urban Village London, people were like, is that you, Melinda? And I was trying to be really anonymous.
Yeah, even now I'm trying to do a pause. Sorry for interrupting there. And she's just saying, it feels so weird if you put my personal name.
It's a bit of being sort of humble and not being comfortable with the self-promotion aspect of things. But yeah, I think exactly if you're saying to your kids, like, it's good to be out of your comfort zone, go for it, just jump in, see where it goes, see how you feel, see if you like it, see if you don't. So, hey, let's see where it goes. But I think storytelling, I think it's a couple of things. It's storytelling, it's engagement, connection with people. Those things are really important to me. So I just think of it as an extension of that, really. So, hey, yeah.
Amazing. Well, I just wanted everyone on their commute to be more connected. You go to Parsons Green and Fulham Broadway, and because I lived in both sides of Fulham and I've commuted from both, it's packed, right? Everyone is literally feels like, I call it Piccadilly Circus when it's overwhelming. And even for me, guys, sometimes it's overwhelming many people. Looking around, I want them all to be connected with what's new in the neighbourhood. Those little things that we were talking about, right? When you don't know what's going on, and then all of a sudden you hearing our lovely voices.
Well, I think sometimes people also do want to help and do things, but they don't kind of really know where to start.
Yeah, I agree.
So I think sometimes it's about making it easy for people. We're all busy and...
So just to speak a little bit about the podcast, how it's going to be given, so to speak, is I'm going to interview residents and business owners, and my lovely Melinda here will go into her comfort zone. I had to give her what she loves.
Which is more the creative industries, really. I think that's always something to use that cliched word that everyone uses, passionate about, so...
Yeah, we've got loads of artists in the area. And then obviously we're going to have the good and the not so good, which we're probably going to talk about together. And yeah, anything else that we want to say about the pod?
No, I've just...
That we have amazing guests coming and we are...
We do. So yes, you definitely stay tuned. I think there are some incredible personalities. We've already talked about the amazing things that people are doing.
And residents. Living with people that do have a business, or they are actors or whatever not they are. I do believe that residents are amazing in Fulham. Like there's one of those, gems that, and exactly what you were talking about, people like being humble. And again, I don't want to say anything, but it does come with the personality and everything else of just wanting to not be in the light. So it's good for us to bring them out of their comfort zone, just for them to have a voice and talk about their amazing creative minds or not so creative or whatever not they want to talk about.
Yeah, whatever brand they're involved in or a project. I mean, yes. I mean, there's so many.
School teachers. I want them on the pod. I want to hear all about it. Obviously, we're not going to have names and anything, but I want to hear all the exciting things about the neighborhood. I'm going to put you on a spot.
Oh, okay. Eek.
Are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we are going to ask all our lovely guests, and obviously today the guests are ourselves, yours dearly. We're going to ask a on-the-spot question that they don't know about. Yours today, my lovely, you're not an exception.
Okay, hit me.
If you were to live in a different part of London, where would you and why?
Oh my gosh. Well, I don't really feel I can answer that one.
Come on.
No.
She's a proper Fulhamite, guys.
Yeah,
by the way, she should trademark this,
this name.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm a Londoner through and through. And I have got roots from elsewhere, but no, I mean, I was born...
Were you born and bred in London?
I was born in Kingston, yes. And then my parents had a small
Kingston.
Cottage in East Sheen, so I love that neck of the woods.
That's my dream.
Yeah, so. It's very, very beautiful. Then I met my husband, and he was living in North London, so I lived, West Hampstead way, and then we moved to Fulham. So I feel I've lived in other parts of London, and we have recently moved house, but we're still in Fulham, and I feel very content here. I feel that I have everything I need. Like, why would I want to live elsewhere?
Not even a tickle of something.
No, I think if I had to move elsewhere, I don't think it would be in London. And so for you say you love the area, but
I love the area.
But what is something if you had to change something about the area, or
is this your spot question? Is this on
something?
The spot?
Yes, this is it in disguise.
Oh, here we are. I thought I'm the exception of the case, but she's she's done it.
Is there something that you would add? Is there something?
Look, Shoreditch was amazing, and I think all places I personally lived, because I've never lived in a quiet, nice place like Fulham is, right? So I lived in Shoreditch, the buzziness of Shoreditch. I can say I just lived off Fulham Road in South Kensington. So it was quite quiet, but not quiet. I don't know. I think the traffic, Melinda.
No.
Oh, I don't want to talk about the traffic. Where is the traffic? Having Zara's on Fulham Palace Road permanently, seeing the traffic and the dust and the pollution. And I'm a city girl, right? But I am a countryside at heart, always have been. Love horse riding, love being with the animals and nature, and I'm running and all this and that. So I think it's the traffic. Well, I think it's very exciting what's incoming. And I think having our lovely events coming up. So we have the 23rd of April at
the Sands End Arts and Community Centre, which is a gorgeous
So that's our main launch. It's an amazing building, and we are so lucky to have gotten
23rd of April,
the opportunity to hold it there. It's amazing. It's open for all guests, all residents, and all businesses. So please do follow our Instagram and find out more details. Also, we have some amazing guests coming. And then if you have anything that you might want to share with us, an amazing story, I wouldn't really want to hear more about the traffic because I could pretty much see it.
Yeah, I think we need to. That has been very acrimonious and needs to be.
Yeah, but if you have an amazing story to tell, do DM us on Instagram or email us at hello@fulhamsocialhub.co.uk. And I'd be more than happy to come back to you. Even if you're a business owner, a resident, a storyteller, or whatever you want to call yourself, we are here for you.
Yeah, sounds good.
Right. Well, let's wrap it up, guys, and see you next time. Let's not forget thanking the amazing team at Voxpod Studios. I think they are phenomenal, guys. So if you have a audiobook or if you have an amazing podcast idea, please get in touch with them. They're absolutely amazing, professional. And also if you have any birthday parties or events.
So they also have a company called Sensational, which do amazing music parties for children. So you can come along, can sing along to their favourite track, record it. It's great fun.
How cool is that, guys? We actually saw the studio where everything happens. It can be a hand-you. It can be anything, guys. It's an amazing experience and we highly recommend it.
Yeah, fun idea for a hen-do, actually.
Oh, exactly. Yeah. I would love to do that. FYI. Right. So next week we've got a fantastic guest. Is one not to miss. I think he's one of the most touching stories I've heard from the neighborhood. And I don't want to put it only onto that because he's an amazing entrepreneur. He's so creative. And I think he changed my perception onto being an entrepreneur quite a lot. It's one not to miss, guys. It's really, really good.